So today we are going to discuss about data structures. Okay. So now let's take some example. We are now collecting a, let's say, shopping cart. Somebody is going to shopping. Let's say maybe vegetables, right? We are taking this input from user. Okay. So let's say vegetable one. We are asking. Okay. Enter vegetable one. We are saving, and let's say just print also. So whatever user is entering, we get the same thing, right? We are just entering. So like that, if user is having 10 requirements or 10 vegetables to get, how many we have to repeat? We have to repeat 10 like this, right? And imagine if he's having 20, 30, and how do we know how many user will be having? We cannot really control, and we cannot keep, using a new variable like this. So this is called a collection of data. When we have so much data to hold or to process, we cannot go by the individual variable like this. That is where we need data structures. Data structures hold collection of data. Basically, not just one, but collection of data. These data structures will hold multiple entries in one single object, in one single variable. We have 5 different types in Python. First one is called list. Second one is tuple. It is also sometimes called tuple. Third one is set. Fourth one is frozen set. And the last one is dictionary. These are 5 different data structures we have in Python. Now let's go with the first one, list. This is very important in terms of real-time work, in terms of interviews. Questions will be around this. Okay, what is a list? As we have already seen, list is a collection of data. That is first thing. Then not only just collection of data, it is ordered, which means in whatever order we are making entry in the list, the same order is maintained. The second one is it can hold different types of data. Hello, you guys there, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
just cross checking. Okay, and list is immutable, which means updates are allowed. We can actually change after defining a list. We can change the items inside it. And this is also called sequence type. What does mean by sequence type is indexing exist. If indexing concept is exist in a data structure, that means that is called a sequence type. We will see what is indexing. And finally, this allows the duplicates. Ordered collection of data, the same order is maintained. It can hold different types of data. When I say different types, it can hold string, integer, float, any data type. It need not to be same across. Mutable, which means we can alter data. Sequence type, the index is maintained and it allows the duplicates. Now let's see how do we create the list. Same, right? So now let's have these vegetables as a list variable. How do we create? We create a list using square braces. And inside square braces, we have to keep items with comma separated. Okay, like this. There is no limit. How many ever you want, you can define. And if you just print, and we will also see what data type it is. We we have seen this type command, right, in the first session. You see now the same thing we got output in the same order, and type is returning list. This is a list type. There is one more way of creating the list, that is using the list constructor. Don't worry about what is constructor. We will see in the whoops concepts. But just remember, there is one more way of creating a list, that is using the constructor. So if we keep this way also, the list will be created. Same thing we get, you see, in the square braces. But we use the square braces a lot, not the constructor. Constructor has specific use cases that we will see later. Now, as we mentioned, it is mutable, which means we can change, right? First, let's see how do we add new item to the list. We already have this vegetables list. So I want to add new item to it. How can I add? We have seen string methods, right? The string variable, then dot, then the method name. The same follows. List has its own methods which we can make use and do the operations. So to add item to the list, the method is append. You see, as I start typing, our ID only will show append, and which item you want to add. Okay, I'm just adding one more item here, and let's print vegetables. Control-S. You see, first we had only 4 items, then I added one more using the append method, and it got added. And this append method always adds item at end. It always adds at end. So if you execute one more, right, and that will also come there. Let's say onion. See, first chili came, and then onion came. So it's keep appending at the end. That is why it is called append method. And for some reason, if you want to insert anywhere else, I don't want to add at the end, but I want somewhere else. We can do that using another method called insert. So here, okay, what is the item I want to add? Let me just comment out this part. Let's add onion through indexing. Now we are telling, okay, I want to add onion. Like append, we can't just leave like this, because this method is there to insert at certain position. That position we have to tell, okay, where you want to add. So list has the indexing concept which we have seen, right? That indexing starts at 0, right, during our string formatting. The same way, list also has the indexing concept. So the index starts with 0, as we have already seen in any programming language. So first item index is 0, second item index is 1, then 2, then 3, and so on, if any further items are there. So when we are adding any item through insert, we should tell, okay, at which index you want to add this item. So if I want to add this as the first item, I should give as a index 0, because that is the first one, right? Now let's add at index 0 and see how the output will come. Interpreted as integer. Okay, my bad. It is other way around. First should be index, then the value. Okay, whatever this underscore underscore index underscore underscore object, right? That is my editor is giving the PyCharm. I'm not typing anything. Yeah, you see now onion.
But it is there in the syntax, is it?
If you look at this insert method in the behind scene, right? That
Hmm.
is where they are using this as a argument. We will
Yeah, I
attach.
understand.
Uh,
I understand. But thing is, if you remove these index,
I can't
try to
remove
remove.
this particular thing because this is not under my control. The editor is just showing you a hint. Okay, you are
Then
passing.
if I type from command prompt, type window, I mean type Python, will this allow if I type insert zero comma onion?
Huh, that's how it works actually. Okay, let me keep in the comment, then you'll understand. Okay, this is actually I have written.
Okay.
See, when I copy pasted also, it is on giving this only. You see that this index
Yeah.
and object PyCharm is showing me. I maybe
Correct.
there
Correct.
should be a way to disable that.
Just for our reference, I think it will
Huh,
show
it
in
is
like
just showing
to
for our
understand.
reference.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So we don't have to. I mean,
No, no, no.
uh,
I,
think of
correct.
underscore index again. Correct.
Exactly.
Okay.
Usually in VS Code also it will show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it will help us. See, I when I entered onion
Yeah.
first 0
Yeah.
second with these names only I understood. Okay, this is first one I should pass as a index. Second one
Position.
only object. Yeah.
Hmm.
If you remove the index, object is automatically clear lock. I just see.
Um, I'm not sure if it works only with the object, but let's see. I'm adding one more. Okay, saving and printing again. No, see, it says it takes exactly two arguments. I was telling right argument one and two, but we have given only one. Even PyCharm is also indicating that. So it expects two. We cannot go with only one. Okay, that's about how do we add new items to the list. Now, how do we read items? We have the list, but how do we read those items from the list? If I want read only one, we read items from list by the index. We have already seen the indexes, right? Starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. The same indexes we can use and read the items. If we put 0, that means I am reading the first item. If I keep 1, which means I am reading second item. You see, first item onion, right? We had onion, so same onion is printed. Second one is potato. Potato. If we want to get cucumber, what is the index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I give index 4, then I'll get cucumber. Same way, I will get chili. We have seen this indexing, right? This actually goes from left to right, right? Left to right. That is the indexing we have seen. But indexing is also possible from right side to left side also. We can actually start from right side. How? -1, then here -2, -3, then here -4. So now you may have doubt. Okay, we started from 0 in left to right. That why are we not starting 0 from right to left? There is no -0 +0 concept. It's only 1 0. That is why it is starting from -1. So when you use index -1, you get the last item. -2, last but 1. -3, last but 2. So let's see the example. I'm keeping -1, then I'll keep -4. You see, -1 is last item. That is why we got chili. Then -1, -2, -3, -4. -4 is the tomato. That is what we got. So indexing works in both ways, left to right and right to left. Anything can be used. Next. How do you get multiple items? So we have got only one item, right? How do you get multiple items? That is called list slicing. We want to slice some part of the list. Okay. So the same way we have seen right here using only one index that we have seen 0, and when you want to retrieve multiple items, right? Suppose I want to retrieve first two, which is starting at 0, then 1, then I don't want anything else. I want 0 and 1, right? 0 and 1. So how this works, right? The syntax here is we have to give start index and end index with a colon in between. Here start index is included, but end index is excluded, which means
Mandatory.
no, which means when I'm giving 0 to 1, right? That is what we want, right? From our list. This is our list. Okay. If we want potato and tomato, which is 0 and 1, if I keep 0 to 1, I'm giving 0 as a start index, and the start index is included, which means I will get 0 item. And the end index I am giving as 1, and end index is excluded, which means from 0 the list will start, it will stop before 1 itself, which means it will get only 0th item. Let's see how the result will come. You see, you got only one item. That is the syntax. It starts at starting index, it stops before this end index itself. End index is not included. This point is clear. Start index included, end index is excluded. So now if we want to get index 0 and index 1, we should actually give index 2 here. I want items from index 0 till index 2, but index 2 is not included. That is what it means. Now you see, we got onion and potato. Let's say if I want tomato and chili. So what should be the syntax? What is the starting position of tomato? It is
One.
1. And we want chili. What is the position of chili? It is 2, right? We don't want 3. So we should actually give till 3 because 3 is excluded. You see now we got why we got potato, something happened. Potato and tomato. Strange. Let me print what is there before this. Yeah, I think we made some changes in between, right? So that is why I think this is not the same list we retained. We changed in betweens. Yeah, now you see 0 to 2, right? So this is the original list what we have before this command. Onion and potato came. Then 1 to 3, right? What is 1? 1 is potato. 2 is tomato. So it gave 1 and 2, but it stopped at 3. So if I want till cucumber, what should I give? I should give 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That means till 5. If I give till 5, then I'll get till cucumber. You see? Now, the interesting part. I want till last item. So now what index should I give here? Because if I give that index 5, right? The 5 is excluded. Then how should I get last item? You can ignore the end index. If you remove the end index there, which means you take till end of list. Now you see we started at 1, right? It goes till end, how many ever entries are there. That's how we can get to the end of the list. Hello, there, right?
Yeah.
I got
Yes, yes.
So,
some notification. Okay.
Bharat sent some notification.
Oh, okay, Bharat.
Bharat sent some notification.
Okay, okay, fine.
సార్ మెసేజ్ ఈ థంబ్ సింబల్ కనబడుతుందా మీకు శరత్?
ఇక్కడ వాట్సాప్ లోనా?
లేదు లేదు, ఇక్కడ తంబిస్తున్నాను అప్పుడప్పుడు.
వస్తుంది వస్తుంది.
వస్తుందా?
ఓకే, నాకు కనబడట్లేదు యాక్చువల్గా.
ఓకే.
నాకు కనిపిస్తుంది నేను.
మనకు కనబడుతుంది అంటే శరత్కి ఇండికేషన్ వీఆర్
అదే
లిజనింగ్.
ఉన్నామని, అదే కరెక్ట్ కరెక్ట్.
ఓకే,
నేను అప్పుడప్పుడు
కనిపించదు.
చెక్ చేస్తూ ఉంటానండి మధ్యలో. నాకు బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నాయిస్ అప్పుడప్పుడు వినపడుతుంది, అది వినపడుతుంటే నేను అడగను, లేదంటే చెక్ చేస్తున్నా మధ్యలో.
అప్పుడప్పుడు పోయిన దగ్గు పోయిన మధ్యలో.
Okay, so same way how when we remove the end index it goes till end of the list, right? If we ignore the start index, which means we are telling Python, okay, you take from beginning. So the 0, if we give, if we don't give, it is same. See, onion, potato, tomato, we got first 3 items. Now guess this, what we will get if I'm just doing this. I'm not giving start index, I'm not giving end index.
Print all the
Yes,
characters.
we get from start to end everything. You see this here? That is how we can do slicing. If you want some part of the items or you want whole part of the items. And did you notice the difference? Okay, print. I'm taking only one item, right? With slicing also, here also I'll get only one item, right? Because I'm starting from 0 and I'm starting before 1 itself. Here also one item, here also one item. But there is a difference in the way we get the output. You see here, this is a item we got. What is the value inside? But 0 to 1 with the slicing, we actually get a sub list. These and all sub list. With a single index, we get actual item inside the list. That is the difference. Okay. Now let's assume I want only onion and next item I want to skip. Then I want tomato. Next item I want to skip. Next I want cucumber. We got this kind of requirement, let's say. So how do we achieve that in list? Let's go back here. We have seen this, right? There is actually one more we can give, that is called step size. So this is like how many steps you want to go. You want to go with 1 step size, 2 step size, 3 step size. When I say step size, right? Going from potato to tomato is 1 step. Going from potato to chili is 2 steps. Same way going from potato to cucumber is 3 steps. That is what step size here. So here step size is 1 by default. That is why whenever we were doing slicing, we did not give the last one. But still it worked. How? Because default it is a 1. Even if you don't give, behind the scenes it will be like this. Behind the scene, wherever we don't give, right? Behind the scene it is always like this. So now let's try one and print, see how we get. 1 2 3 1. Okay, and I will not give anything, and also print. We'll compare both. Now you see both we got same potato tomato, because by default it is 1. Now in our requirement, right, this is what our list values, and our requirement go from onion to tomato, then skip chili, then cucumber, which means the step size has become 2 now. You jump it to step size 2, right? For that we just have to give 2 here. Let me give from start to end for now. Okay, if we print now, you see we got onion, then potato is skipped, then we got tomato, then chili is skipped, then we got cucumber.
Sharath, I have a question.
Yeah.
So can we print based on strings? Like I want to print whichever has on string O or I, whatever.
Okay, you want only you want to print onion first, then tomato, then cucumber, like that, right?
No, no, no. I want to print strings with letter O.
Okay,
Is it possible?
it is possible. It is very well possible. For that, okay, okay, I'm trying to get
Yeah,
it with the concepts we have seen so far. Okay, with the loops it is very easy. Okay, but we haven't seen the loops, right? Okay, now let's take this way. Okay, you are taking
it's
first
okay,
item, right?
Sharath. I understand.
Ha, ha.
If you are planning to cover it later, we can park this question later.
But with this concept, I can just show you one.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so vegetable zero, when we get, right, we get what? We get onion, right? Onion is a
Hmm.
string.
Correct.
String has a method called starts with. Whether your
Sure.
item is starting with what, we can tell whether this item is starting with O or not. So if you
So
just
maybe you have any method like contains.
So,
contains, see, we our requirement now whether it is starting with zero, sorry, O, right? Contain,
anything
con
contains also. I
ha.
was actually looking for any letter with O.
Okay, you want to check
So,
whether O is there
yeah,
in any word or not, right?
correct. Correct. Correct.
Contains. Okay, we need not to have contains. No, we have membership operator, right? Oh,
Hmm.
so
And
if it
if
is,
exist,
yeah, please go ahead.
I think in that case, if O in, then print of vegetable of that index of something, right?
Huh, you can write if condition, right? If O in, then you print vegetable zero, right? But if there are 100 items, you can't write 100 if conditions, right? That is where
No, no,
we will need loops. The
correct.
loop has to go through each item, then execute
Hmm.
this condition, then print.
Can we write here vegetables of 0 to end?
0 to end. You can write.
No, no, no. The first Z O in, if O in.
Okay, good question. See, we have seen the difference between these two. You remember, right? This is just whatever object we get, string. This
Correct.
is a list you will get. So for
Correct. Correct.
list, the in works in different way. Okay. So when we have onion as a string, and you can check O in onion. Okay. But let's say if O, if you are checking in a list, right? Like this.
In that case, you mean
Ha,
to say for loop should start for I in, and then
exactly.
for variable has to be print. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Understood.
Yes. So here it checks in string with each letter whether O is present or not.
Hmm.
But when it is a list, it actually check compare with each item. It won't go inside again check for each letter.
Yeah, looping is not happening.
Huh.
Correct.
Yeah. So we can do that using for loops that we will see in the loops class.
Okay. Okay.
In real time scenario, where this list comes into picture, have you
If you are
came across or
reading any data, right, from file, from database,
Mhm.
you have like simple example, you have employee database, you read, right? Where do you hold all
Mhm.
the employee names, employee marks, whatever? You will have only one variable for all your employee names, all your employee IDs. From that, let's say, okay, now let's say you have employees, you want to know which employees are having salary more than 10 lakhs, right?
Mhm.
So you will have all the employee information in a list, right? Like salary 1, salary 2, salary 3, like this. Okay.
I mean, first of all, I mean, like to hold the information like in tabular form, we have database, right? Like SQL database or whatever.
Yes, yes, yes. But
I mean,
when you are processing through Python, it
mm.
has to come to Python, right?
So you need to import as a list, then you can execute
Huh.
any query.
There are other different modules we have. The famous one is
Mhm.
pandas, which will actually hold the same tabular format, right?
I
But
think JSON file.
JSON is another one. So we have a popular no and powerful modules which can be used. But this is like a small example where I can see how we can use list in real time. So if you have list of all salaries, right, like this, and you want okay all salaries greater than let's say 240 or 250, I should get only these two, right, in output. So like this, I can write a loop, go over each item, check if condition whether this is greater than 240. Only when it is greater than 240, I take that item into my another list that I'll show as a output. We will see after the loops, I'll be able to show good examples which will make
Okay.
more sense.
Yeah, share it one more thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I also want you to cover multiple what you call list inside a list.
Huh. I'm going one by one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just checking if
Yes,
you have
it
that.
is in this. It
Okay.
is not only list inside the list. I have a concept called nested data structures. It need not to be
Okay.
list. One list can contain tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary. That is what
Okay.
JSON ultimately.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Because I work on JSON files. That's why.
yeah, we will see that. Once we cover all the data structures, then only we will go to nested because I want to cover inside a
Mm.
list one tuple, inside a dictionary one list, like different combinations.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else on this? Okay. So we have seen step size 2, right? That way we can keep any step size whatever you want, 3, like that. Now, another interesting thing is you can actually keep the step size as -1. Okay. Even we can keep negative values. So how negative values works? We have negative indexing, right? Which goes from right to left. The same way, when you are giving right to left indexing, we can tell using negative numbers, you go one step from right to left or two steps from right to left. That is what negative step size here. Okay. For example, I want to start from cucumber. What is the index of that is -2, right? Then -3, -4. Let's say I want to get till only tomato and I want to stop at potato, which means -2, -3, -4, -5, right? This is what I get. And by default, this -1 will be there because 1 is default value, right? No, let's print this first, then I'll come to this. Okay, when we printed sorry, it should be -5 to -2. That is what we have seen, right? Because it goes from left to right. When I give -2 to -5, why we did not get anything? it was like this, where we started from here -2 and we are going towards left, but our step size is telling go towards right. That is why we got empty list. We saw that, right? Because our index is telling go from right to left, but your step size is telling go left to right. That is why it is not able to identify anything here. So instead of that, if we give the negative step size, okay, even now our step size is telling go from right to left. So if you see now, we get cucumber, chili, tomato. You see, it goes in the reverse way. First cucumber, then chili, then tomato. We can give -2 also, same way how it worked from left to right. And I don't want to give anything here. So it starts from here and goes towards left till the end with the step size 2. You see, it started at cucumber, step size 2 is tomato, then step size 2 is onion. There is one famous interview question. Okay, reverse the list. How do you reverse the list? We have this list here, right? I just want to reverse the list of items. So we have now seen the step size going from right to left, right? So that is what we need to do to reverse. Start from right, taking one by one, right? So step size will be -1, that is same, right? Now, from where you want to start? I want to start from -1, right? So
Semicolon -1.
-1, then till where? Till end. I don't want to give any end, right? So at the end I'll skip
Empty.
and I'll keep step size as -1 as it is, right? So if you print, you will get the exact reverse of the list. You see chili, cucumber, then chili. You also notice this. We have chili twice. It will allow the duplicates. Tomato, potato, onion.
How about
And
just a semicolon and -1?
I was coming to that. This -1 is just starting, right?
Mm.
So starting, if you don't give, what happens? Automatically it start from beginning, right?
Yeah.
So how now Python know whether should I go from left to right, right to left? Because we did not give any start end, right? Python will understand from this step size whether you are giving me the step size from right to left or left to right. This is what going to give a reverse list. This is the answer we should give for the reverse list.
Single semicolon? Will it work?
Single semicolon when we are giving a second semicolon, right? By
Mm.
default, it will be like this in the behind scene. You should imagine this when you are not giving second semicolon, right? You should
Mm.
actually imagine this way in the behind scene. Sorry, D. Let's say you are not giving this. In your mind, you should think of this.
Mhm.
You are telling, okay, no starting point till
Okay.
-1. -1 is a starting point, right?
Yeah.
No, -1 is not starting point. We are going from left to right because of the step size, right? And starting position, we are not giving anything. So it should ideally start from onion, go till chili, but chili is not included because the end index is excluded. Now let's see that. Yeah, you see same thing. So behind scene it was like this. You start from 0, go till -1. -1 is excluded. That is why we did not get last chili. Step size is by default 1, so we got every item. Always
Can you
imagine these three in your mind when you are going with any slicing concept.
can
Yeah,
you print -1 empty?
-1 empty. Okay,
Chili.
just like this, right?
Correct.
You will get only one item, chili, because you're telling okay, start from -1 till end, right? That is the end. There is no other item. That is why we got only this. Let me show you this also. -1 to -1. What happens? We are getting nothing because you are telling stop before -1, right? And you are starting at -1. This takes the precedence because since you are giving it an end, I will not give this item. That is why we got empty one.
So the answer is -1 and nothing and -1, correct?
-1, you are asking me to start, and you are
Hmm.
asking me to start before -1. You are basically telling don't include -1, right?
Hmm.
So I go with this second instruction that I will not include -1. That is why you got
Hmm.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, always my suggestion to have this logic in our mind when whatever we are writing, right? If we are missing something here, start index. That means we should think of 0 here. If we are missing step size here, we should think of 1. Then we'll be able to get what we'll get the output, right? So that's
Okay, sir.
that's about slicing. Slicing is very important thing. I hope everything is clear so far. Okay. Next concept in list. How to find index of an item? Okay, I have some list in my vegetables. So for example, I want to see at what index some item is present. For example, vegetable start. I want to see where is onion at what index. Similarly, I can check for chili also. Okay, this is the we have, right? Onion. So onion is at what index? 0. That is why we got 0 here. And chili, we got 3. If you observe, chili is there at 2 places, right? So it gives first occurrence wherever first occurrence has come. First occurrence has come at index 3. That is why it is giving you index 3. You can also check how many times it is there. Count of an item. Instead of index, it is the count method. Count we have seen a string method also, right? The same thing. We get 1. If you check for chili, we should get 2 because it is having 2 times, right? Yeah, you see, we got 2 because it is there 2 times. Now, another important thing, how do we update items in list? Okay, now I have my list like this. You see, by mistake, I have given chili again, but I want to change the chili. So how do I do that? First, how do I access the last chili in the list? Which index should I give? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, you guys there, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
It's 5. Or I can, you see, I have to start counting from left to right, right? 1, 2,
It's,
3, 4, 5. Instead of I can just do -1 because I know this is the last item, right?
yeah.
Eh, This is how we get the last item. So you should get that index and just assign new value. That's all. Nothing else. However, we are getting that item, okay? You just assign the new item. Print vegetables. You see now, garlic has been replaced, right? That's how we update item. Any index you can take and update like this. We can also update multiple items. We have also seen slicing, right? The same slicing concept. Let's say I want to update potato and tomato, right? That is from 1 to 3. What this will return, we have seen, right? When we use one index, what happens? We actually get the item, right? The object inside, if it is a string. But when we give slicing, what we actually get? We get a sub list. So
Three lists.
when you are getting a sub list here, we should also assign a sub list. Otherwise, it will not accept. So you should give in a sub list form. Whether let's say now two items, right? We are trying to replace. Um, let's say carrot, then beetroot. I am replacing my potato and tomato with carrot and beetroot. You see now these two are replaced because this is what we are giving here. So whatever slicing we have seen so far, right? You can use same slicing here, and whatever values we get from that slicing will be replaced by this because we are assigning it. And it need not to be the same number of items. Suppose if my 1 is to 3 is giving 2 items, right? And I am also assigning 2 items. If you want, you can assign more also. Let's say now I'm just replacing what from 3 to 5. That is our chili and cucumber. I am just replacing with only one value. Not only one, you can update 3, 4, 5, how many number. It doesn't matter how many you are giving, but it should be in the form of this list. You see now, these two, chili and cucumber, are replaced by the potato. That is how we can update multiple items also in a list. Okay. Next, we have seen reading, updating, right? Now let's understand how do we delete item. Delete or remove item. What is the latest list we have? This, right? Let's keep this is for reference. Now I want to delete an item. There are two ways. One is by index. You can provide index and ask Python to remove that index value. The second one is by value. First we will see how do we do that by index. Vegetables dot pop. Pop, we know the English meaning, right? It will get you something to the pop up like in front of you, right? The same way pop removes an index entry and gets you the value. Gets you in the sense it will return that value. Let's say now I am removing index 0 value, right? And I am printing that. What print does? Whatever the instruction inside print returns, it will print. Pop does two things. First one is remove the value and return it. So when something is returning, you can print, you can assign to new variable, you can do anything. Now, first we'll do pop and then we'll print vegetables and see what is the result. Okay, this is the list we had, right? Onion, carrot, garlic. So when we did POP 0, it actually removed onion. That is why when we printed the vegetables, the onion was removed from here. And if you observe in the first statement, it also returned the removed item, onion. That is why onion is printed here. You can actually assign this to anything. So let's say uh, removed item. You can define a new variable, okay, and do pop. It will remove the value and assign to the new variable called removed item. That way it is doing two things. We'll see the same thing again. Yeah, onion and carrot. If you want, you can do anything with that variable. The value will still be there in this removed item variable, but not in your list. It is removed from the list. And this is very useful in real time. When you are processing something, okay, you are processing a list one by one, and you just want to remove once it is processed, and you just want to print that, right? You can just do pop that, okay, this value is removed and processed. You can put that message nicely in the output. Okay, I think our assignments will need this pop also. So basic understanding does the two things: remove the value and return that value. So if you can print, you can assign to any variable, anything you can do.
So it is for only for one item.
Good. Actually, you reminded me. You can only remove one item. You cannot remove multiple. Next, there is another way.
So if multiple again looping and all, right?
You have to do the looping. There
Okay.
is one more way. Okay, before that, if you don't pass pop, right, by default it will remove the last one. Let me show you this also. You see the garlic was there, right? Garlic is gone now. If you don't pass any index, by default it's last one. If you pass that index value, it will remove.
So you should give mention the index or item
Index.
name.
Index. Pop is always by the index.
Index.
Yeah, this is index we are saying. Value we will see another method.
Okay.
Now, let me not remove this also. This also. Okay. Now, there is another way to delete, but this time you can delete multiple. And that is called del. Okay. Del is a universal command to delete anything in Python. You want to delete item, you want to delete object, everything is possible using the del method. So now using this, you just have to pass the index. The same way how we were returning the value, right? The same thing. If you want to delete one value, just pass 0. If we want to delete multiple, right, we have to do the same slicing concept. Now let's see. Yeah, now onion was removed because I gave delete of 0, right? So if I give, let's say 1, 2, 3, which means 1 and 2. You see, carrot and beetroot were gone because I gave slicing. With this, you can multiple entries also deleted. And these two are using indexes, okay? Del and pop method. Now, how do we del remove an entry using its value? That is by a different method.
So delete just vegetables and
Ha.
empty box. Will
Okay.
it delete the whole table or last
Okay.
item?
You are just giving variable name like this.
Ah,
Yeah, it will delete entire list
entire list.
that I
Okay.
wanted to cover at the end because this list will be deleted.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So anything you can delete. That's what I meant. Del. So whatever you are giving, it will be deleted. Now, how do we get remove something using the uh, value? Vegetable start remove. So what we have, let's say onion, right? So now you can tell, okay, remove onion. So we have seen pop, right? Pop does two things. It will return and delete, right? Unlike that, remove just remove. It will not return anything. In that case, okay, let me show you this. Then I'll come back to print. Vegetables, save, print. You see now onion is gone. So like we have seen index, right? If there are multiple entries, okay, let me add one more onion, okay, before I delete, uh, so that we will see what happens if there are multiple entries. Okay, we have two onions here, first and last, and we have used remove. You see, only first onion was deleted. Last one is still there. So it remains same that only first occurrence will be deleted. Okay. And coming back to the print, right? What I was trying to say, pop is returning the value, wherein remove will not return anything. So if you try to print the way we printed pop, right, you will not get anything. How nothing is indicated in Python? Using the none. You see, because this is not returning anything to print. That is why print is not able to print anything, and by default is none will be printed. That is the difference between pop and remove. And pop works with the index only, and remove works with the item. And here also you can delete only one item. You cannot delete multiple items. That's about deleting
So,
items.
do we have any way to delete multiple then?
We have seen, right, using the index here, del.
No, no. For
You
talking
using
about
no, it's not.
duplicate.
No, duplicates you mean. Okay. Yeah, we have different data structure that will help us to remove these duplicates. Otherwise, you know what you have to do? You have to loop through all item and check if it is onion, then remove it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But there is a easy way using sets actually. Set will not allow duplicates. So if you just convert from list to set, by default all duplicates will be removed.
So, okay, you will be covering anyway. Okay.
Yeah. I will be covering.
Actually, the struggle ఇక్కడ అవుతుందంటే లైక్ యూ మెన్షన్ దిస్ రిమూవ్ అండ్
Hmm.
పాప్ కదా అవి రెండు మెథడ్స్ అని చెప్పారు
అవును.
బట్ డిలీట్ అనేది కమాండ్ కదా సో
హా,
ఐ వాస్ టైపింగ్ వెజిటబుల్స్ డాట్ డిలీట్ అట్లా ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను నేను
లేదు. Delete
సో
అనేది
యూ షుడ్ యూస్
గ్లోబల్ కమాండ్.
డిలీట్
Yes.
సో యా దట్ కమ్స్ విత్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అయితే
కరెక్ట్. లేదు, బ్లైండ్ ఏమంటారు రూల్ ఏంటంటే డాట్ ఇలా ఉంటే దట్ ఈస్ ఎ మెథడ్.
యా ఐ మీన్ లైక్ టు రిమెంబర్ దట్ థింగ్ లైక్
కరెక్ట్. ఇట్ టేక్స్ టైం. కరెక్ట్. ప్రాక్టీస్ కావాలి. ఎస్.
ఇది మెథడ్ ఇది కమాండ్ అని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవడానికి ప్రాక్టీస్ ఉంటుంది వస్తుంది
కమెంట్స్ చాలా చాలా తక్కువ. మేబీ ఐ థింక్ ఫస్ట్ మనం చూసింది డిలీటే అనుకుంటా, ఇంతవరకు చూడలేదు.
యా మేబీ అప్పటి నుంచి మెథడే వాడుతున్నాం సడన్ గా
అవును.
మీరు యూనివర్సిటీ కమాండ్ అనేసరికి ఓకే
Okay. Now we have seen delete, remove. Okay. Next, add one list items to another list. Suppose you have two lists and you want to add items from one to another one, right? Let's say I have one more list. Okay, whatever we removed, we'll just add tomato, then something. Okay, this is a new one we have. Print veg 2. I want to add the items from veg 2 to vegetable list. So you remember how do we add an item to a list? We have seen method, right? What is that? Append.
Append.
So if you just do append, then print vegetables and execute and see what happens here. So you see this is was the our first list, and we want to add items from this list to first one. And you see what happened. It actually came as a list as it is inside the main list. But what we wanted to do, we wanted to get tomato as one more item and drumstick as one more item. As we used append will get entire object. Whatever you are giving, it can be string, it can be list, whatever. Entire thing will come as just one item at the end. So if you just do -1, what happens? Whatever we added will be just printed as it is, because the entire object is added. That is the problem with append. Then how do we solve this? There is one more method called extend. Extend is used to add one list item to another list. Okay. So okay, now I added this by mistake at the end. How do I delete that? Right? We have seen POP. If I do POP -1, whatever by mistake I added, it will be deleted, right? So instead of commenting, I just want to show how we can make use of other methods. Vegetables. Append, by mistake we added, but we are removing here, and then we are adding them as items. Yeah, you see. Now tomato came as a different item. Drumstick also came as a different item. That is what extend is used. Even now in our current project, right? Recently, I have seen somebody was not aware of this method, and they were using this and getting it as a last item. So for that, they were going through loop, flattening all the list. Like they are going in very long route. That recently I have seen 2 weeks back. So this is very important method if you want to add items from one list to another list. Again, it is hard to remember everything, but you can see in the documentation, right? How we have seen dot, everything will come here, and same help method, right? So that help method will give what it does. Okay. Now let's say we want to copy. We have vegetable. I want to just create a new copy out of vegetables. So veg3, let's say dot copi is this is the method veg3. So why do you want to take a copy? Like if something happened to original, we don't want to affect our copy, right? Sometimes it's a backup we want to take. So same thing happens here. We have vegetables that is stored in some memory location. Okay. Um, let's say this is vegetables location, some 1 2 3 4. When we do copy, right, the same data will be copied and stored in different location, 4 5 6 7. Okay. Now let's print this vegetable 3 and see what is there. Yeah, both has same thing, right? So now I mentioned, okay, this is copied into different memory location. So logically, if I change something in vegetables, it should not affect our veg3 because that is a separate copy, right? So let's see. I'm just removing last item, then print both and see whether that is affecting our veg3 or not. Yeah, you see that here we took a copy, exact copy, then we removed last item from our vegetables list, but our veg3 it is not affected. That is what this copy does. This also we use in real time when we want to save it as a backup and play with the one copy.
Will assignment operator work here?
This is assignment operator only, no?
No, no, we have one more. I mean, no, I mean, veg equal to vegetables. Will that work?
Okay,
Removing
it
copy.
will be same location. Oh, good question. Maybe I'll show that example.
Okay, we do this here.
Okay, veg4 equal to vegetables. You are not taking a copy here. You are just referring to same location again.
Acha.
Okay, let me print veg4.
Rename approach. Rename this approach.
Not renaming. You are actually having two variables for referring to same memory location.
Oh,
You see here?
same memory.
Yeah, they are pointing to same memory. So whatever changes happen to the data, it will reflect everywhere.
Can we do ID?
Huh, it will come same thing. Okay, Control Z, Control D. Okay, if you want to repeat the lines in PyCharm, it is Control D. So it will just repeat the line for saving time.
Control D.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you want to comment or uncomment, control slash forward slash.
Actually, I just googled it. That's it.
Yeah, you see, this is vegetable memory location. This is veg for memory location. This is a different memory location.
Got it.
That's about
Actually,
copy.
somewhere in the copy, ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ సార్ రిపీట్ చేస్తారా? Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So if you want to take a copy of the data as a backup into different memory location
Different.
for some
Okay.
reason, like you want to retain my original data because my first list may gets processed or may gets altered, and I want to see
Backup.
what is there in kind of a backup you want to keep. That is where we can
Mhm.
use this dot copy method. It will take the data, put in a new memory location.
Mhm.
So when you make any changes to this list is not impacted because it is a separate copy.
Okay,
And
understood.
this example, we are just referring to the same memory location, so which 4 gets impacted whatever we make changes to vegetables.
Okay,
Clear, no?
okay.
That is why
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, same memory location here, same memory location here, but here it is different one.
Yeah. I think it's like backup only every time whenever we
Backup.
do any
Correct.
changes. Yeah.
Backup.
Better we take the backup and do
Mm,
the changes in the main
mm.
table, main list.
Some use cases will come to keep a
Okay.
copy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um, one use case recent గా నాకు వచ్చింది ఏంటంటే um, we are creating schemas for a data set. Okay, so every time there is a change in schema, we have to create a new version. We should not change the existing version. So what we do, right? We take a copy of that latest version what we have in the system, then make changes, then push that as a new schema. My existing schema I'm not altering because I just took a copy.
Mhm.
Yeah. So some use cases will come definitely. Next, I think it's more than 1 hour. You want to take some break, small break? We can take.
Yeah, for 5 minutes break like
Yeah,
holiday.
correct. Okay. Let's meet in 5 minutes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. Yeah.
5 minutes. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we will see how do we sort list. Sometimes we have to sort, right, based on alphabetical order. Um, vegetables dot sort. So this will sort the items and return. This return you like try to understand. It is actually giving the result of sorted items, which means print can print that because it is returning something. And let's print our original again and see whether any change there. What happened? Did we delete anything? No, right? Okay. It is giving none and it is sorted. B, C, G, P. It will not return. My bad. Sort items in list. It will sort your actual data and update in that variable itself. It will not return anything. That is another method. I'm confused. I'll tell that. So if you want to sort, just sort method that will change all the items in the list and in a sorting order. We have VC, B, C, G, P, T. So it's order. By default, it is sorting order. If you want to make in descending order, there is a parameter or argument called reverse. You have to tell true. By default, this will be false. Even if you don't give here, right? Behind the scene, it is like this. Reverse equal to false. That is why by default it comes as ascending order here, but here it comes in descending order. You see, first one is ascending order, beetroot, carrot, and second one is descending order. There is another way, that is sorted method. That is not a list method, but it's a global method which can be used for data structures. So with that method, it will just return the sorted list, sorted items, but it won't affect the original list. So unlike here with the sort method, our actual list is changed, updated in the sorting order, right? With this sorted method, the actual list will not be changed. Only it will return the sorting order. If we print, then only that result will be in sorting order. And if you check that original list, it won't be changed. I'm just commenting these two. You see, this is sorting order, what we have printed, and it has not affected the original list. That is why you still see this is not in order because beetroot is here, carrot is here. That is the main difference between dot sort method and this sorted method. If you want to
So,
change, yeah, please go ahead.
so if you have alphabets, and what in case of numbers?
Same goes. It goes in the same way, right?
Yeah. So numbers in form of strings.
Then it goes by their ASCII values, I believe. Let me give something here. It goes by ASCII. UDF something, right? Yeah, you can do this also. Set numbers. Oh, okay. It is not supported between instances of. Okay. So what it says, right? It is trying to compare these values, then make the order. And one is integer, one is string, right? So it is not able to compare. But if we give all numbers, it will work. Let's give
Try,
minus
try with the
1.
float, integer and float.
Yeah, it is not able to compare. Only with the comparison, it knows whether which is minimum value, which is maximum value, right?
No, my
So
question is number in form of string, like 7 with double quote or single quote,
huh,
78 with some.
that's what it is expecting, all in a strings, because it can
Yeah,
only compare strings with string.
yeah. Just do all string.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It will sort -1 0 because their ASCII values will be used in the behind. All numbers also it will work, but mix it is
All
not
numbers.
working. Sorry.
Yeah, I understood all numbers thing. Just one.
Yeah, correct. I think it works between integer and float also because both are numbers only, right? That's about sorting. This will affect the original list, but this will not affect the original list. That's the only difference. Um, Next, if you just want to check how many items in your list, right? Just use len method. Len, then list tables. It is
శరత్
hmm,
సార్టెడ్ డిసెండింగ్ ఆర్డర్లో రాయాలంటే
I think the same reverse equal to true.
అచ్చా లోపల రాయాలా
Yeah,
ఓకే
is parameter. By default, if you don't give right, behind the scene it is false. Though we don't give, that's a default parameter they use. If we just print, you see now we got in descending order 7870. We can check the length, how many items we have. See, when I'm writing something before len sorted, they're not just belong to list, right? When you see this dot sort, then they belong to only list. And this length can be used for string also, like what is the length of a string? I don't remember if we already discussed this. Okay, if you just put a string, right, it will tell you how many characters the string is having. And for list, it will tell you how many items are there. It has 5 items, right? And this has 6 characters. So based on the data type, this method will be able to handle and tell you the length. I'll be covering all such methods in a separate class. Some very important methods we have like sorted length.
అదే ఎక్కువ రియల్ టైంలో వాడేది.
Exactly. Real time loading. Next, okay. There is a way to convert a string to list and a list to string conversion. Let's say we have some text. I'm just using Jevada, Andhra Pradesh, comma India, right? You have a string like this. Okay. Now I want the items inside this text as a list ending with comma. So this means this is comma separated. I want to treat this. So you, whenever comma comes, you take that as a one item and keep as a list of one item. Then whenever next comma, right, till Andhra Pradesh, we get next item. Next we get India. This is what my expected output. Right? We can achieve this using string method called split. I am telling Python, okay, you split the text I am talking about using what that I should tell. I want to split using the comma. So if you print, it will split by comma and give you a written list. This is a very real time use case. You will get items as a text, but you will have to convert them into list and process. Sometimes you have to split by space, sometimes by hyphen. So whatever you want to split, you can split using that character, keeping that here. Okay. And let's understand the vice versa. You have a list of items, but you want to make it as a one text. So now let me assign this to some variable so that we will have that. Okay, I'm assigning to output. Now let's join output. Um, the method is dot join, and you have to give the list, which list you want to convert it as a text like this. And before join, here we are telling, right, with what I want to split. Same way we should tell now here with what you want to join, what you want to keep in between those every item, right? If you want, you can keep anything like space or hyphen, whatever you want. Let's now start with the space. Print output. You see now we got Vijayawada, then a space here, Andhra Pradesh. This space is was already there here, so same is retained. Then here one more space. If you want anything, you can keep. If you want multiple characters like this, that is also allowed. You see now that character. So for all the items in between, whatever character we are giving here will come. If you don't want to give any character, just don't give anything. Empty string you are giving. This is called empty string with just double quotes. So without any space, we got all the data. That is how we convert a string to list and a list to string. This is very important in real time. Next, how do we combine two lists? Let's say you have two lists. We have seen adding one to another, but let's say you want to add both, combine both, maybe get a new list. We have seen veg4, right? So I am just doing vegetables. You remember the sum operator? We have seen plus, right? So plus works for list also. If you are giving two lists, it will actually add those two list items into single. You see, list of items we got. Maybe I can print and show you what we have before and then what we got output. This is vegetables one, first one. This is vegetable two. The output we got combined list. That is what plus does. And plus not only for list, it also works for text also. Like if you, let's say you have some first name, last name, right? If you keep something plus, then you can keep something else. The plus work for strings also same way. Yeah, you see, just got added. That is how you can add using plus. Next is membership operator. I think we have seen this quickly again. If you want to check any item present in a list, onion, then use the membership operator in vegetables. So this will tell whether it is present or not. So we have one more operator, right? That is not in, vice versa. It will give false, either true or false, because this is a membership operator. Then we have seen, right, enter deleting a list. Delete veg, let's say 5, and then if you try to print veg 5, what happens? You see here veg 5 is not defined because we have deleted that object, that variable. And how do you know where we got this error, right? How to scroll right side? Not able to scroll. It will actually show here at what line it failed. If you scroll to the right side, I'm not able to scroll to right side for some reason. Let me try cursor. Yeah, right here. You see here line number 178. This is where it failed. So log will actually show where it failed also. When you are having any errors, right? You can take this help. Okay, this is where it failed. Okay, and one last thing before we wind up. We have seen list slicing, right? The same way we can slice string also. String also will work in the index way. It also follows the indexing. So we have already seen full name, right? Full name. If you do index 0, what happens? Let me print name, then show you that indexing. Yeah, I should comment this. You see, my full name is this, and when I give index 0, what happened? I got the first letter. So the indexing works for string for each character. The same concept what we have seen, right? -1, and you can do slicing. Let's say from 1 to 4. Same again that step size, right? 1 to 4 with 2. All this works for string also. -1 it gave last k. Then 1 to 4 it has given ARA. 1 to 4 with step size 2 it is AA. It's all same. However, it works for list the same way it works for string, just that in the string it goes by one character for one index. That is how string slicing works. String is also sequence type because it is also having the indexing concept. Yeah, I think with this we are at the end of list concept.